Okay, let's run.
Your mission, should you choose to accept it.
It's a quest. It's a quest for fun.
Well, The Rock says, why don't we just cut right to the chase?
Okay, now he wants to get together. Well, he wants to talk.
I want you to do me a favor. I want you to tell all your friends about me.
It's showtime, folks!
What are you?
Greetings and salutations. This is And I Quote, a weekly show where we introduce you to some of the best creators from all over the world, and we find out more about them by taking your questions. I am your host, Ryan of And I Quote channel, and our guest on this episode is someone that we met at a Comic-Con some months ago, some little bit, little timey stuff back. But please welcome cosplayer extraordinaire Sakura. Cosplay is in the building. Hello, young lady. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Oh, we're fine. We're all fine here. No, thank you. How are you? There's a reference for you, but don't forget to like and share this with your closest friends. If you're watching this live on the replay, also known as Memorax, there's a throwback for you. Hello there. And if you have any questions for our guest of honor, let us know in the comments, let us know in the chat, and we're happy to take those as they come in respectively. But in the meantime, Sakura, if I may, is that how we can go about it? Can I just call you Sakura? Is that cool? All right.
Sakura, yeah, Sakura's fine. Sorry. My friends call me different things because of how to pronounce it.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mispronounce anything, did I?
No, I think you did it right. I get mixed up from them all the time.
Oh, gee whiz. All right. Well, hopefully I still get to keep my job tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. So stay tuned. I may not get a paycheck next week, but I'm just joshing you there. But outside of that, what would you say were some of your favorite movies, past or present? What are some of your favorites?
Oh, gosh. So, not too much into pop culture wise, but Perks of Being a Wallflower actually is my favorite.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, I love it so much. I don't know why, but I love it. It's like one of my favorites. But God, Inside Out, my favorite Pixar. Encanto is my favorite Disney, and right now I am obsessed with K-pop Demon Hunters. Like unhealthily obsessed. I love it so much. So those are like currently my favorites.
Ooh, good picks. We actually just did a, I believe it's 10th anniversary watch along for Inside Out just a few weeks ago.
Nice. Jealous.
I know. 10 years. It's been 10 years.
I can't believe that. I don't want to believe that actually. That makes me feel really old.
What I mean, I know I don't mean to make people feel as young or old as they are, but still, I mean, if it makes you feel any better, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation came out that same year, so that's also 10 years young this year.
Gosh.
Rogue Nation, yeah. TC Legend, Tom Cruise, yeah.
Like to think 10 years ago was 2015.
15,
I was just like, huh?
I know. So much happened in 2015, whether it's the Mission Impossible franchise continuing its successful run at the box office, Pixar surprising everybody with another big hit with Inside Out, which, by the way, outside of the Toy Story movies, that is my favorite Pixar movie is Inside Out. It's the best one.
So good.
I love it. Congratulations, San Francisco. You ruined pizza. Anger's my favorite emotion. Who's your favorite?
Mine, gosh, I'm not to be basic, but I have to say joy. But like sadness is just me. That's just how I deal with everything. I think sadness would run my brain.
Really?
Yeah, but like as someone who's like when the movie came out, I was just graduating high school actually, going into college for psychology. So like that was like my bread and butter. So I was just like, this is my brain, and I'm like analyzing it. And I'm like being a complete nerd and like utilizing like my psychology with my nerdom, and I'm like, this is what I want to do, and yeah.
Ah, there you go. Oh, come on, sadness. Be positive. I'm positive you're gonna get lost in there. Like see what I mean? But yeah, no, it's a good movie. It's very heartfelt. I mean, everything that Pixar does is heartfelt, but that one just so good.
Saw Elements recently, so that was.
Oh, really?
Good.
How was that?
Yeah. It was good. I liked the back message to it, and I actually had like a pretty good like philosophy conversation with the person I was watching it with, and we were going back and forth on that.
Really?
So yeah, I enjoyed it. I would recommend it. I did like it a lot actually, more than I thought I would.
Oh, well, that's in the words of our good friend Spock, fascinating. It is fascinating. Well, the flip side of the coin though is, what would you say are some of your favorite TV series, past or present?
Oh gosh, I'm trying to like think. There's so many.
So many.
So many. Growing up, I was a Disney kid, like a Disney Channel kid. Sorry, Disney Channel kid.
Right, Disney Channel, Disney Tunes, yeah.
Oh gosh, that was all me. I was obsessed with like the Jonas Brothers, all of that stuff, Hannah Montana. Like that's my era. That's what Raven, Wizards of Waverly Place, top tier,
That's
my
so
favorites.
Raven, yeah.
But going into like more like nerdy stuff,
Mm-hmm.
currently a lot of my stuff I watch is anime. So like my favorites is Hunter x Hunter, Jujutsu Kaisen. Actually, one of my manga shows that we talked about earlier is fully just Jujutsu Kaisen manga and items. Then like just a bunch of them. But I've also watched. What did I watch recently?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm blanking. It was something actually like live actiony, but like I enjoy like the Fallout series, the One Piece series on Netflix, all of those things, and I just love how they're coming about more like nerdy and pop culture.
Yeah, they've really taken over the airwaves, haven't they?
It's good. I love it. Like I want it to spread more and everyone be a nerd. Like let this be the norm. This is where fun is.
Yeah, not everybody is can be technically classified as a nerd like you and I are, and our friends outside of the studio are. But if all 7 billion people were turned into nerds such as ourselves, the world would be a lot better place.
It would be so good.
It would be, wouldn't it? We just
so
hang out
great.
we'd hang out with each other every weekend, go to Comic Cons in our area that are reasonably not inexpensive, because Lord knows some of these Comic Cons are getting way out of control with their expenses. Looking at you, big corporate cons.
Mm-hmm.
Just saying.
So big. So expensive.
Yeah, they're a lot of fun. They're a lot of fun. There's no what am I trying to say here? There's no doubt about it. Well, good names you just threw out there. Granted, I'm not overly familiar with the manga and anime genre, but I'm open to it. I mean, I've watched a little bit of DBZ here and there, so.
Well, if you ever need a list, I got you. So I tell every one of my friends, I will make a curate list just for you.
A curated list.
Yes, I will.
Well, I guess we know what we're doing after this show is over, fellas. Hey, we're gonna ask her the $1 million question. Can you send me a curated list for someone who wants to start watching the anime properties or start reading manga? Where should we start? Where do we go? Because it's like a giant yellow brick road. So.
It really is. It just depends on the person, honestly.
Yeah.
The more I get to know a person, the easier it is for me to kind of gauge what kind. Like my friend that I got more into anime, his favorite show is Doctor Who, and I was like, I got a list, easy, Steins Gate, and then I just list of things like that. So into that, I'm like, okay, time traveling, sci-fi. I got you.
There you go. Well, thank you so much. Understandably so. What would you say are some of your favorite comics or manga, past or present? Anything stand out?
Gosh. So I believe I'm looking over there because it's over there. I believe I had a bunch of collections of Wonder Woman. That actually used to be a big thing for me. I was obsessed with Wonder Woman for a while. And then the Teen Titans was also a big thing for me. The Bombshells are one of my favorites. Just the designs are so pretty as a cosplayer, and they're just cute. So that is some of that. Manga wise, JJK. I'm trying to think what else is there. That's the biggest one. JJK. I was trying at a point to do a lot of manga and anime that was relating to mental health, because I wanted to do a pop culture and mental health type of more of a panel at cons. But that, along with all the other projects, died in the project graveyard.
Oh.
But one day I'll come back. I believe in it. So I have a few mangas there that is relating to mental health. So I have to go back to it one day.
Excellent, Smithers. There's another random impression for everybody. Fabulous stuff. So what made you decide to become a cosplayer?
Gosh, I don't know. Actually, just one day, the story behind it is actually so much fun. It's my dad actually was really into, my dad's a big Star Wars fan. And so going into that, he started getting into the Rebel Legion 501st with the costumings of that, and then obviously his favorite was the Mandalorians, the Mandalorian mercs. And so he would do these costume-based stuff and go to these cons and volunteer to be at those booths that you see from the Rebel Legions and 501st and stuff like that. And we went one day. And then I was the first time I kind of did a cosplay. It was a really bad cosplay, but it's fine. You got to start somewhere, right? And I just saw all of these cosplayers everywhere, and I'm like, this is amazing. I love this. And then I was like, this is where I belong. So that was the beginning of it. So a big inspiration from it was actually my dad, who was doing the costuming stuff for the 501st and the Rebel Legions and stuff like that. So that's my beginnings.
Well, that's good stuff. You know why? Because
this is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way.
it is. It truly is. It truly is. And yes, I do have a Mandalorian shirt. I may not be wearing it here today in the studio, folks. I got the May the Force be with you T-shirt on today, but I am a Mandalorian fan. I think it's a solid show. I cannot wait to see where it goes. Obviously, we got the movie coming out pretty soon with the Mandalorian and Grogu. That's going to hit theaters within the next, I want to say the next year or so. So
I want it to be good, but I'm scared it's not. Like a lot of the stuff, I'm just like, these are great concept, but with how things have been, like media-wise, have been like going downhill.
Well, you're not the first person to say that, and also a lot of the fans would be in agreement that Lucasfilm has not made a lot of good business decisions in the last number of years, ever since they took over when Disney bought Lucasfilm for all that money. You know, you would think that they would have a plan going into that sequel trilogy we got not too long ago, but no, they were making it up as they went. Force Awakens is a great film. The follow-ups, not so much. Rogue One, great film, solid stuff. Andor, okay, here's the thing. This is going to cause a stir. Didn't like Andor season 1. Didn't really care for it. It was a slog fest. Felt like it went too slow. It didn't really get me into the neck of the meat of the matter. But my friend says to me, you got to see season 2 because it picks things up, turns things on its head, and it ropes right into Rogue One so well. And I'm thinking to myself, man, that's a hard sell, man. That's a hard one. But I'm one episode in. It's okay. But my friend says, well, no, you can't just watch one episode at a time. You got to watch it in 3-episode bursts because the first 3 episodes are one storyline, and then the next 3 are another story. And I'm like,
oh gosh, that's
like
so
you're just this is home. I mean, this it's 12 episodes. It's 12 episodes in the season, which isn't a big number. But when you look at 3 episodes for each story arc, it's like, dude, do I really?
It's like 3 hours.
It's like 6 hours. Do I have to take 6, 7, 8 hours of my life to watch this?
And yeah,
I mean, it's a hard sell, but I'm in the process of watching it because I want to respect my friends' wishes and say, hey, I gave this a shot. These are my 2 cents. You know?
Right.
So we'll see if Andor season 2 works for me or not. I mean, obviously Andor has already come and gone, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, they have not made a lot of great business decisions, and I'm hoping they go back to what is known as the drawing board, and they say, okay, what can we do to bring our audience back? What can we do to make the audience united on the forefront? And here's some of the things that you could do is adapt some of the stuff from Legends, adapt a Knights of the Old Republic series. I think that would be badass.
Yeah.
Take some of the books that have come out recently. I mean, perfect example. I know this might be too little too late, but if you've read the book Master and Apprentice by Claudia freaking Gray, who is a master storyteller, by the way, if you read that book and see the relationship between Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon leading up to the events of Phantom Menace, that book alone would make a solid television series.
Right. Yeah, probably, honestly.
At least in my opinion. I don't know. I mean, that's one of the newer books that I've read. Are you familiar with any of the Legends or the new canon books?
Unfortunately, I am not. No, I'm not too caught up, unfortunately, with Star Wars stuff because I've just been in such a narrow pathway because of school.
It's okay.
And work.
Well,
so I still gotta catch up on so much.
Well, if you need a list, I know someone. No, I can curate a list
Honestly,
for you. It's cool.
I wouldn't complain. So
right,
trade lists here.
I was going to say, I can send you a list of the books that I've read that I really enjoy that I think are great canon and non-canon novels.
Right.
For Star Wars. I can send you a list if you wish.
Actually, you should. I will. I would love that, actually.
See, there you go. People helping people. That's what this world needs to be.
That's what nerds does. That's what nerds do. This is what we do.
I think the world will be much better off if we were doing that. Once again, this is And I Quote with the guest of honor, Sakura Cosplay. Don't forget to like and share this with your friends. If you're watching us live on the replay, hello there. And if you have any questions for the guest of honor, let us know in the comments. Let us know in the chat. We would love to hear from you when it comes to that, respectively. So, what are some of the rewards about being a cosplayer from your standpoint?
Oh, a lot of awards. Let's see. First off, you look badass like all the time. Like I feel like I look 10 times better in cosplays like half the time because I'm like, oh, look at my confidence. So it can be a confidence booster, which is really great for one's being. It's just fun. Honestly, it's like just so much fun, especially when you go to like conventions and everyone's like, oh my god, I love your cosplay, or are you so and so from this, or you see someone that is dressed up as your favorite cosplayer character. And then you just like geek out about it, and then you just have that little connection in there, and it's such a nice feeling to have that connection Like I think that's one of my favorite things is when I like make someone smile when I'm like, oh my god, your cosplay is amazing. Like I love the look of everything or how you did X, Y, and Z. It's a warm, fuzzy feeling.
That's a valid point. And the other thing to kind of piggyback off of that is when someone comes up to you and says, "Can I get a picture with you? Because your cosplay is awesome."
I love it. It makes us geek
Yeah.
out.
When people take selfies with you or myself, yeah, because I cosplay too. I mean, I haven't done it in a little bit, but when I've cosplayed, people come up to me and say, "Can I get a picture with you?" I say, "Sure."
It's the
So, "Do you
best
have
thing
Instagram?"
ever.
I'm like, "Yeah, yeah, I got an
Yeah, of
Instagram. Why wouldn't I have an
course.
Instagram? You'd be foolish not to have an Instagram at this point."
Exactly.
But then of course I either say, "Hey, I'm on Instagram. Here's where you can find me," or I give them one of my business cards and say, "Hey, this is who I am. This is where you can find me. There's a link. What do you call it? There's a QR code that will take you to my
Yeah.
link tree, which is a great way to which is a great way to network with other people in the business. By the way,
Yes.
QR
Absolutely.
codes, folks. Use the QR codes. Every
It's
single
so
one that you
helpful.
can find.
So easy.
Well, it helps, and it
It
also
does.
helps if you add it to your business card.
Yeah. I need to do
So,
that with my new
oh,
business cards.
there you go. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, we're all here to
Start somewhere.
it's around summer. We can always help and encourage one another. So, but yeah, once you revamp your business cards, feel free to put a QR code on the front of the back of it so people can just take their phones, be like, "Hey,
And
I
scan
know
it.
this person. I met them before. This is great." But no, that's some great pointers you brought up as far as the rewards go. Now, on the flip side of the coin, though, what are some of the challenges about being a cosplayer?
Oh gosh. I feel like the cons might outweigh the pros, but I promise the pros are so much more than it ever will be. Like I know for me sometimes it's like it could also be like when you put something on, it might not look the exact same way you would think it would look. So unfortunately I don't make a lot of my cosplays. I do buy them. So things might not fit as well or it might not look as flattering because of the design and like the general measurements that the outfits are. When you make your cosplays, it's nice because things usually fit around you. Now, if you gain or lose weight, those since are very designed and measured to your body shape, then it could fluctuate with that when you make it. Because I made one outfit and I think it does not fit me anymore, probably. But it can kind of like make you feel a little bit weird about your body. So it's two sides of a coin usually. It can get really stressful. You get that con crunch, which is a very common term for cosplayers, is because we like to procrastinate. I think it's just a universal thing. If you're a cosplayer, you just also a procrastinator. How do you not? How do you not have that stress of last minute preparations? But it can get a little stressful. I know right now I'm in the drawing board process of what exactly cosplays I want to do because I actually had just dropped one of my dream cosplays for a really big con for me and my friend group because of not for me but like my group members financials are not the greatest right now, so I wanted really to do this group with her, so we decided to just push it back. It's fine honestly, but it was like, okay, well now I'm back to the drawing board. What do I replace it with? What's gonna look good? um what's popular, what's not popular. Like it's a lot of things to kind of juggled in and kind of put into like one piece to make such a beautiful art happen. I
Yeah.
think that answers your question.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Yeah, it's a great answer. I appreciate you sharing that with us. Absolutely. And yeah, con crunch. Yeah, last minute details, things of that nature. It happens sometimes. It does, but it's okay. Yeah.
It's
You know,
fine.
there's an old expression. There's no such thing as perfection. You just go out there, you have fun with it. You have
You should
the
tell my
pieces of the
brain
outfit
that.
that you. I'm sorry.
I said you can tell my brain that there's no such thing as perfection. It will argue with you.
Hmm. 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 Well,
Yeah.
sometimes I struggle sometimes with what is known as perfection. I always try to make something perfect, even though in the back of my mind I probably should think that it's not going to be perfect. But we all strive for perfection, even though we can't always reach it because our mind plays tricks on us that way.
All the time.
To a certain extent, right? It's kind of like that other saying that we've heard before is that we are our own worst critic. That comes about, right? I mean, is that a
And that
common
comes a
thing?
lot with cosplay as well. Is that like you'll have a cosplay, then you feel proud, you'll go to a convention and you're like, well, they were better than me. And then it's like it's hard to kind of train your mind because after years, because I've been cosplaying for at least 5 years now, to be like, they look great, but you look great too. And that's okay because no, it's not a competition. Like we're all here to have fun, dress up like our characters and be nerds.
Hmm. Well, in the words of our good friend Morgan Freeman, she's right, you know. This reminds me of that meme I saw on social media not too long ago. Well, actually, it was a minute ago, but still, you know what they say. I digress. Well, to take it, just to show for those of you who are watching or listening to us at home, we have examples here of your cosplay. So, just out of curiosity, how did this come about, and what was your experience like becoming this character?
This one was sometimes I just do cosplays out of random. I can't remember exactly why I decided to do Silk. But I just love it because like Silk is great. I need to redo her cosplay, but it was just for fun. I just needed a cosplay. Silk looked amazing, and I was like, Silk is like a great Spider-Man, like a spider person. So it's like, why not? And we love when we don't have to wear wigs. So I just let my natural hair grow. Um, and then taking this picture process was, we were trying to do something similar with it. It took a few tries, but I'm actually standing on the ground. You just don't see it. Yeah.
Okay, because it looks like you're legitimately a wall crawler.
We were trying to recreate that. If you could actually tell with my left hand, that's not gripping it as what should be. But the right was fine. But I know it because I was in the picture and I see it. But like, I try not to say it. I just said it out loud in front of everyone here, so now they can see it. But oh well, it's great. It's a great picture. I love it.
Yeah, it looks really well done. Just out of curiosity, did you have the Danny Elfman Spider-Man theme playing, or the original '94 animated series, the Spider-Man theme playing in the background when you were shooting this?
I was not. It was just
Oh,
there was no music. We don't have music when we shoot. We should really have music. I feel like that would help.
it kind of
I'm
sets
gonna
the
actually
mood,
use that.
doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna take that back to my peeps.
Okay. Because
That's
when
a
I
great
look at this picture,
idea.
yeah, because when I'm looking at this picture, I'm either thinking of the Danny Elfman original Spider-Man from 2002, the Tobey Maguire iteration,
Right. Yeah.
playing because that's what we grew up on. Either that plan or the Hero song by Chad Kroger and Josie Scott that they play at the end credit sequence of Spider-Man from 2002. They say that a hero can save it. You know what I mean? Or
Honestly,
they have.
it probably would have put it into a vibe.
Hmm,
That honestly would have made it probably a lot better. I
oh,
don't know why
well,
we
there
never
you
thought
go.
about that.
Yeah, or the original Spider-Man 1994 from Fox Kids, the animated theme song, Spider-Man, it's got that guitar riff, down, 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 you know what I mean?
Yeah, oh,
So
absolutely.
that would have worked. Now I got music on the brain, but
Right.
it's a fabulous outfit. So well done as Silk, as one of the examples of your work. But going into the galaxy far, far away, I mean, we got to bring this one up because if we did, because I'm the one wearing the Star Wars shirt, so if we didn't, it would be a crime against humanity. So, what was it like becoming this character, and how did this come about?
So this one came about because I've really wanted to do Mary Jane for a while. There's a few Star Wars cosplays I do want to do. Padme is my number one for that. I do love it, especially her lake dress, her Tatooine one, and then her battle. Still was always on the list, or more of a 501 Rebel Legion approved outfit. I think because he wanted me just to really go with him and spend, kind of like a daughter type of thing. But Mary J was actually someone that when I looked into more of the Star Wars characters that I was like, oh, she's pretty cool. Love the red hair, the outfit, everything. And then I kind of went more into her character and everything. So this one was just thinking, oh, be a badass basically. And like the gun is actually my dad, or it's not a real gun. The gun prop is my dad's for his Mando set actually. So
Nice. Well done. Well done. Great stuff too. And being an extension of the Star Wars galaxy, a lot of people appreciate Mara Jade's character overall. So
I really hope she gets some time, like on the big screen.
I like, I don't know a whole lot about her. I mean, because I haven't read the books that she's been featured in heavily yet. Where are they sitting? Are they in this case? They're in one of my totes that's full of TBR books, ladies and gentlemen. I got a lot of TBR in my pile. Let's just put it that way. But she is involved in one or two of the books. So one of these days I need to sit my keister down and read her story and find out more about her as a character. Because once I understand the foundation and why people love this character so much, then I'll maybe become part of that part of the fandom. So who knows?
Right.
I don't know yet. It's too soon to tell. But I do like the outfit. You look fabulous no matter what.
Thank you.
So got to give credit where credit is due. And then you got another example here. This one. Who exactly is this character and how did this happen?
So this one is actually an anime character. So it is from Fire Force. It is a character named Princess Hibanya. So she was actually one of my so when I watch animes, I obviously look for good characters and I also obviously look for people I can cosplay. And with her, like I loved her like I loved her character in general, especially like the character development in the anime. And then I was just like, I want to obviously cosplay because like I love her outfit, I love the look. So then that happened, and this probably is one of my favorite ones because I have to actually have contacts for once. Um, and the skylight and everything about it was super great. And this was actually taken on a phone too, so looks really great.
It's amazing what people can do these days with a smartphone. You don't need one of those Nikon HDR, ridiculously expensive cameras.
There is a difference. The Mara Jade one was actually done by a no, that was by a phone too, actually. Oh, all
Was it?
three of them actually were. Yeah, I thought it was a camera, but it's not.
There you go. Just goes to show you, technology has come a long way since the olden times. So,
The cameras are a lot better nowadays. They really are.
yeah. Well, gotta give credit where credit is due, ladies and gentlemen. So there you go. So how did the mental health aspect of this rope into your cosplay? How do you intertwine the two, and how did that start?
So I don't do it too much with it. Usually when it comes to mental health, it's more of a they see it on my platform type of thing. I do want to try to integrate it more in the future. But it's just because I'm a very proud mental health advocate on its own with someone with lived experience with mental health conditions. And cosplay is something that I really loved. And when I was going to school for psychology and my undergraduate, I went obviously for psychology, I just said that, but I wanted to be a counselor, a therapist. And then as I got more into like my senior year and everything like that, I wanted to kind of integrate, and I decided, if I go to grad school, which I would have to go to grad school, I wanted to do my thesis on basically geek therapy, which is using pop culture and therapy to have it relatable, to have it fun, to be using different like video games and shows and board games, card games to teach therapeutic skills. Now, completely did a 360 and didn't go that route for masters, but I still am trying to have that aspect of it. So like I've gone on the drawing boards regarding like making a story regarding mental health and fantasy and basically nerdom and all these different things, or making a card game, which obviously, like I said, Project Graveyard, I dropped them a while ago. But with cosplay, it's mostly the best way to do it, which is a plan that I have, is to basically go to conventions and probably the smaller local ones in the beginning and have a discussion with panel goers to be like, hey, like this is a mental health representation in the anime world or the pop culture world, and how it relates to people and how you can relate to this character, and showing like, oh, cosplaying is great because it teaches a little bit more about empathy and more about stepping in people's shoes and just being in a different mindset, being creative and all that different things. So I think it has it can be relatable so well, because like sometimes people really do act in their cosplays, which is so much fun. So if you have a cosplay that is acting a certain way, then it's easy to identify like, hey, like this is probably someone with ADHD, depression, etc. Like on the board. It's everywhere, and it's nice to shine a light to it.
Very true. So that's great stuff. So the more you know, no, very, very important stuff. And it's great that you bring up mental health because it's always been important, but it really came to the forefront during the pandemic and the lockdown. People were stressed out of their, we weren't sure what was going to happen at that time. Everyone was unsure. But one thing a lot of us, including myself, realized is that my mental health is extremely more important than I originally anticipated. And if something does come up, it's not a negative to go out and ask somebody for help, because there's this old adage where someone has said, if you ask somebody for help, it is a sign of strength, not of weakness.
Absolutely.
So that is something that I've learned for me personally. Eventually we all learn this, but in my opinion, like this is just how I came to know this.
Right.
So I eventually learned that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to not be okay. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be frustrated. It's okay to cry too.
You can have feelings.
So, yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, to have feelings, right? Is that, yeah,
we love feelings.
It's very important. So, that's one of the things that I've, and it's funny you bring up these pop culture things that can be used as examples for character, because there are characters in different properties that struggle with different mental health struggles or issues. And I've said this before on other shows. I use X-Men as a great analogy for people who have autism. It's a great analogy.
Mm-hmm.
To me, it's perfect because what happens in the comics? Mutants are thrown away as outcasts. They're mistreated. They're not
Exactly.
given the same rights that human beings are. But as time went on and humans learned more and more about mutants and what they can bring to the table, it's like, hey, they may have these abilities, but they're still, in a way, they're still, in another capacity, they're still human because they have the same feelings that we do.
Exactly.
So
They're just a little different with genetics and stuff like that, which is a perfect example of what you stated there. I know in one of the blog posts I do have on the another side thing, just about living with my mental health conditions and everything. I mentioned X-Men. I think I was watching it recently, and it just reminded me of it. But not just on versus like autism spectrum, but any mental health. I was making the point that it's like, okay, well, people were throwing the X-Men out as outcasts, like you said. They were different. They couldn't handle, like they weren't normal. And so, but then they used their powers and used it for good, and they just had to change their lives up a little bit, but they controlled the narrative of their lives. And that is something that I try to use as a reference when regarding the mental health. Be like, okay, if you're depressed, then some days things are going to be hard, but you just need to change. Like you can change your life around it to make it suitable for you, just like they did for that. Because sometimes like Rogue can't touch people, so she used gloves. So the glasses for Scott and everything like that. It's like sometimes you have to rework things around what you struggle with or what was given to you, but it doesn't mean that it has to cost you enormously.
Definitely, and it kind of reminds me of that scene. Well, granted, this was a darker scene, but when the Dark Phoenix came out and in 2006, X-Men: The Last Stand, she was able to control Cyclops' powers to where he can open his eyes and actually see, rather than when he opens his eyes, the rays would shoot out. But no, they didn't in that scene. But then again, things didn't turn out quite well for Scott Summers in that iteration of X-Men, and a lot of people like to throw that movie under the bus, which I understand. But at the same time, I can still watch X-Men: The Last Stand and enjoy it, because the whole concept of finding a cure for the mutant gene is a very interesting topic to bring to the table.
Right.
So, and once again, it's a good analogy for other things that have been discussed in everyday society. So, just throwing that out there. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But you may not like the movie, but there are some good elements
behind it.
Yeah, there's some good elements and concepts to it. Yeah.
Exactly.
Just out of curiosity, though, do you have a favorite X-Men movie or favorite comic-based movie that's from the Marvel or DC properties?
Oh gosh, I'm a big Spider-Man fan, honestly. Big Spider-Man fan.
But which one? Toby, Andrew, or Tom?
Hands down. We had a fight on this one time with me and my friends. We were going back and forth. I actually did previously watch all three of the movies, all three sets. Still Tom Holland. I'm a big simp. I can't say that I'm not. Love him way too much. Kind of biased.
It's all right. I'm in the McGuire camp, and that's
so you're in it. Yeah, a lot of people
I'm an OG. I'm OG.
Yeah,
so
you are.
I'm sticking it. I'm going to stick it out with Toby. Listen, I liked what they did.
A lot of my friends are.
I didn't mind. I didn't hate Andrew by any stretch. I thought Andrew did a good job in the first one, The Amazing Spider-Man 1, and then when they did the sequel and they just shoved all the villains in there, that was
they just shot him out.
They slaughtered.
They literally
slaughtered it.
They did it on purpose. Like it's just,
they did.
I'm on
that. It was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. And by the way, Andrew, it was not your fault. It was bad writing.
Not. It was such bad writing. Because he's an amazing actor.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've seen him in other things. Did you ever see him in an indie film called 99 Homes with Michael Shannon? Did you ever see him in that?
No, not that one.
Okay, so look up Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon, who played Zod in Man of Steel, my favorite Superman movie, by the way. # that's a fact. For me, anyway. And I haven't seen the new one yet, so don't ruin it for me. But 99 Homes was based on it's based on a true story. So look it up. It is a bit of a somewhat dark subject matter, but it is very, very good. And it's a very good dramatic range for him as an actor. Because he can do funny stuff all day long. But the fact is, in this movie, he shows his really dramatic side, and it's incredible. So look up 99 Homes is the name of the film.
Gotcha. So, there's another one his range was so good. It was Hacksaw Ridge, I believe it's called.
Yes, that was another guy. I have that on Blu-ray. That is a great war movie, but it's also a biopic. It's a biopic.
His acting was so good. Tom Holland was in a different one, and you saw as more of his range of acting as well. Him and Robert Pattinson were in it together, and I cannot remember the name of it.
Now you got me curious because the one thing I remember Tom Holland that he was in long before he was cast as Spider-Man, he was a younger kid. It was the movie The Impossible with Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts, where they struggled with the tsunami that affected the world in 2004.
Oh,
And he's the youngest. I think he's the oldest son of the two boys from because Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts are the mom and the dad. So he's the oldest, but he's trying to save his family of what's left of it. So Tom Holland, he was barely 10 or 12 in that movie, but he did a really good job, even though his screen time may not be quite as much as Ewan McGregor and Naomi Watts, because it's the husband, it's the wife, it's the husband and wife trying to reunite with each other. But it's a good movie. If you haven't, granted, it is a somewhat sensitive subject matter because of the tragedy that happened with the tsunami of 2003, 2004. But it's really good. So I would encourage you to go out and see The Impossible is the name of the Tom Holland movie.
Okay. The movie I was talking about is The Devil All the Time.
Okay.
I haven't seen it in such a long time, though. I think it was Netflix.
Was it?
I think so.
Anybody know this? Someone's going to have to, yeah. Sounds interesting, though. I'd be willing to watch it. I'd be willing to watch it because I want to see what Tom Holland could bring to the table.
Oh, so much. And Robert Pattinson.
Yeah. Well, he did. And not too long ago, speaking of Robert Pattinson, he was Batman. So
I did not get to see that yet.
You haven't seen it yet? It's pretty good.
I'm not a Batman fan, but I was going to watch it. I don't know. He just never vibed.
How can you not like The Dark Knight? What is wrong with that?
I just wasn't a fan. I did enjoy Gotham. Just saying.
No, Gotham has its fair share of moments. I actually met Robin Lord Taylor, who played the Penguin on that show.
Oh, really?
Did you ever hear that story? Yeah. So we were at AwesomeCon in our nation's capital, Washington, D.C. I don't know if you've been to that show before.
I have not yet.
Oh,
I need to so badly.
It's a giant. Let me put it to you this way: the convention center that it's held in, respectively, the Walter Reed Convention Center in this heart of Washington, D.C., it is the size of like 3 or 4 football fields. This thing is super long, super big. It's got 3 or 4 floors that go all the way. It's crazy. But anyway, so I walked up. It was me and my 2 friends. It was with 2 of my friends at the time. It was me, Kristen, and Stephanie. We were all there together. And then we walked up to. I was anxious to meet Robin. They didn't really care too much about the Gotham property, but I'm a diehard DC fan. I love Batman. So I walked up to Robin's booth. I said, "Robin, I gotta ask you, what was it like playing the Penguin? And did you learn anything from Danny DeVito? Like, did you watch his performance in Batman Returns before you took the role and stuff?" And we were he was like an uber like Batman fan. He was spitting he was telling me all the comics, like the different iterations of the comics that he liked. He was telling me like why he loved being a part of the show that he was doing the part that playing the part that he did, because the Penguin is such a different kind of character, and he just wanted to bring a bit of a nuance to it that the different actors didn't bring to it as of yet. So he's like, hey, I love the character. I respect what Danny and all these other actors did, but I just wanted to bring my own taste to it. You know what I mean? And I said, yeah, well, you did, because the way you walk and the way you conduct yourself when you're talking to other Gothamites and whoever else is in the show, it's cool. And you were like, at first you may not think the Penguin is a threatening villain, but it turns out you're very good at being threatening. Right. So I was telling him, like, you're really good at playing this character. I just want to say thank you for being a part of the DC legacy and all that stuff. And he thanked me for that. And not only that, we had our pro photo op later that day, and I walk up to him in a pro photo op, and you know how the photo op lines go. It's kind of quick, in and out, in and out, in and out. But I walked up, he was like, he didn't notice it at first. He was like, dude, you're wearing a Batman shirt. I said, yeah, well, I want to make sure I had the right outfit for our, for my meetups and photo ops and all that stuff. I said, dude, that's a great looking shirt. And he's like, come over here. So he puts his arm around me, and then in the photo, he's literally pointing to my shirt.
Aww.
He's pointing to the bat signal, the bat insignia that's on the shirt, because he's like, look at this guy. Like, he came prepared. So that was a nice little life moment, if you know what I mean.
I have one of those too, with a voice actor that I was cosplaying the character of because I was going to meet him.
Well, who is it? Share the story with us. Who was it?
So it's Keith. Oh God, I'm blanking on his name. Silvervine. Yeah, I think so. Sweet person. He was so nice. But we were at Too Many Games, I want to say it was. Okay. Over in Oaks, Pennsylvania, and it was me and my friend. We were just coming in because I really, really wanted to go. So like she was like, I'll come with you. So she dressed up as an anime character. I dressed up as his anime character from Hunter x Hunter, which is my favorite anime. So I was Ahsoka. So it was this clown fit and stuff like that. And so we come in a little bit late. It is a 2-hour drive from where we live, and we're there around 1, 2-ish. So we go straight back over to the VA size, and we notice, he's at lunch, and we're like, ah, dang, okay, well, maybe we should get lunch because we're hungry. So we're walking back over to like get some food, and then like as a cosplayer, I hear, hey, like nice cosplay, you look great, like all the time. So it's just a very generic, oh well, thank you so much, like type of thing. And then so we were walking by, I hear, hey, Ahsoka, and I turned around and I smiled, and then they were like, nice cosplay, and I was like, oh, thank you. And then I was like just going about my way, and like the second later, my friend was like, dude, that's him. And I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, that's the VA. And I was just like, oh my God, he just complimented me. Like, that's so cool. Like, this is on the floor. And then we went just right back over, and then we like got in line. So then we have a few pictures of him pointing like over at me. And then we have one back to back because he was like, this is such a great cosplay. Like, I don't see a lot of his cosplays anymore. And then like he was like going off about like how good it looked, and because I did a more feminine version of it. So that's what I usually do with my cosplays. I do usually do a feminine version if it is a male character. So he really liked it, and it just like made me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. So I have the picture, and like it's like one of my favorite stories to tell when it comes to VAs and cons.
Oh, that's brilliant. And there's a lot of conventions in Oaks, PA. I feel like they have a convention every 2 months. I feel like there's always something cracking.
Always
up there, whether it's Thy Geekdom Con, which is an anime heavy convention. Thy Geekdom Con, I've been to that one once. I met Stephanie Nadolny, who was the voice actress for Dragon Ball Z, and I interviewed her on my podcast too, and she was very nice. She's very, very nice. If you ever get a chance to meet Stephanie Nadolny of Dragon Ball Z, she was Kid Goku.
Yeah. I think I've seen her around. Yeah.
Kid Goku. You can be. She's very, very nice. And she loves music. Oh my God, she'll talk your ear off about music.
They're so fun.
It is, isn't it? Like Geekdom Con I've been to. There's also, before it closed down, there was the Great Philadelphia Comic Con in Oaks, Pennsylvania.
That was my first one.
That was your first one, was the Great Philadelphia Comic Con?
Mm-hmm.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right before it goes down.
They had some great lineups at that show. They had a lot of great lineups. I mean, the last time I was there, I met a whole bunch of members of the cast of Star Wars, Gold Leader, Red Leader. Angus McGinnis. I met David Ankrum, who was the voice of Wedge and Tilly's in the Star Wars movies. Not because the physical embodiment was Dennis Lawson, but the voice of Wedge was in fact David Ankrum, in case you were wondering.
Right.
So he's been very, very good to me. Star Wars, very, very good to me. So that, and I met a lot of the Power Ranger actors at Great Philadelphia, like Austin St. John. You know the Red Ranger, the OG Red Ranger was there. He was my favorite Ranger when the show started. Yeah, Red Ranger. You know why? He was the leader. He walked softly, carry a big stick, or in his case, a power sword. And I like swords. Swords are awesome. I think swords are great. I think that honestly, they're a great weapon to have as a fictional character, not in a real sense, because I don't condone violence. But in a fictional sense, power swords I think are pretty darn cool. So, yeah, that's awesome that your first show was Great Philadelphia Comic. That is wild. They also have Go-Go Ranger Station, used to be held in the Oaks Expo Center. But another one that's held every year is called RetroCon in September.
Yeah.
Which,
haven't been to that one yet. I need to get.
Okay. So a buddy of mine and I went some years back, and I got to tell you, I walked up to some of the vendors. I don't think we met the owners, because I think they had their hands full with going around to different portions of the show floor. But I walked up to people and I said, "Hey, is this heaven?" And they said, "No, it's RetroCon." It's like, oh, I thought this was heaven. Because honestly, when I was at RetroCon, my buddy and I, Kurt, if you're watching this, what's up, buddy? I didn't want to leave. You know why? Because all the 80s and 90s properties were jam-packed into this building, Sakura, and I kid you not, I could live the 80s, 90s lifestyle in that building for eternity, if not going to Eternia with He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. There's a throwback for you. And just never get bored. I would never get bored. I would never, ever, ever get bored. You know why? Because of all the toys, the merchandise, the collectibles, the statues, the replicas of the vans that were there. The A-Team van was there. The Batmobile was there. You remember Knight Rider? The Kit, the talking car. He was there. So it's like, can I just hang out at this for the rest of eternity and not worry about anything?
Because that'd be great. It's heaven.
I think, yeah, it is. Honestly, that to us is our iteration of geek heaven. So. Absolutely. Just throwing it out there. But yeah, Oaks has a lot of history.
They have a lot of good cons. Liberty Comic Con is a newer one that's happening. Last year, I think it was one of the first few ones they did. I actually met one of my favorite anime voice actors there.
Oh.
No story behind that, but it was just cool.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I was fake.
Are you going
This
again this
year?
year for Liberty City Comic Con? Are you going?
I'm hopefully going to be over at Liberty Comic Con.
Okay.
I'm hoping.
I do know that someone who advertises a lot on social media, and she's also the runner or the owner of the convention, Go Ranger Station, the Power Rangers themed convention. Lady J Cosplay is going to be at Liberty Comic Con, so she'll be there tabling, raising money, getting donations for charity and things of that nature. I believe she's cosplaying. She posted up her cosplay the Friday, Saturday, Sunday graph that you get on social media. She's going as the yellow Dino Thunder Ranger from Power Rangers on Friday. Saturday, she's going as Killer Frost from The Flash. And then on Sunday, she's going as the Invisible Woman from Fantastic Four. Because the new movie just came out. So.
Okay, the new one. Yeah. I've been seeing a lot of that. And I'm like,
You're like, not so much. You don't want to see Fantastic. Well, what about the new Superman movie? Have you seen that one? No. Well, let me ask. Well, okay, I probably shouldn't ask you this, considering I'm a diehard fan of this character. But I'm just curious. Are you not a Superman fan either?
Not my favorite. I was more of a Wonder Woman fan.
Which is fine. She's part of the DC Trinity, so I understand.
She is, yeah. The other two I've never really been too into. I don't hate them, but I'm not too into them either. I've always just been Wonder Woman.
It's all right. It's all right. You may have lost just a few minuscule brownie points with me and the fans out there, but it's all right. No, we're still buddies. You and I are still going to be BFFs. It's cool. But I'm a diehard Superman fan. Diehard. I will die on that hill. Plus, the TV series Smallville is what made me a Superman fan and what got me through a dark period in my life. So, got to give Superman a lot of credit for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just speaking of mental health, like that, and I've told the story many times over. I don't want to go too far into the weeds here, but if it weren't for Smallville, I would not have gotten through that dark period of my life. If you want to know more about the story, you can find it more on our YouTube channel. The story is featured in a lot of our tapes. But it's a good show. Have you ever seen Smallville? You ever see the show?
I've not.
It's a really good show. It's an origin story of how Clark Kent becomes Clark Kent in the small town that he grows up in Kansas, also known as Smallville. So feel free to check it out. It is available on Hulu. # not a sponsor of this program.
I will. I might check it out. I still need some more live action type of backstory and like shows right now. Kind of on a hiatus.
Well, that's fair. And between you and me, I think Smallville is better than Gotham. So
okay, that's
better than Gotham.
Okay, I really like Gotham. So
yeah, Gotham's good. Gotham's good. I've met like I said, I've met one or two of the actors or actresses, but from that project. But Smallville is my baby. So check out the seasons. It is available on Hulu. Start from the very beginning. And you don't have to know anything about the comics. You don't have to know anything about Superman to understand what is going on in this series.
Do you think it's very like canon based?
Well, they do borrow a lot of things. They do borrow a number of different things from the comics, but at the same time, if you're not familiar with the property, it's a really good entry point for someone who wants to discover the character of Clark Kent for the first time.
Okay, cool. I dig a backstory. So, how many seasons is it?
Oh boy. Here's the thing. It was a long one. It lasted 10 seasons.
Oh gosh.
And 218 episodes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, it was a long show. There was turnover with the cast around season 6 and 7 is when they started turning over the cast.
Oh wow.
So because they wanted to incorporate different characters throughout the course of the mythology, but they add a lot of good stuff to it. So don't, say no to it just yet. But I know 10 seasons, 218 episodes is a lot. I was going to say it's a plethora, Sakura, but I believe you can handle it.
I'll check it out.
I mean, at least watch the first season just to get an idea.
At least that, yeah.
I mean, if you don't watch all 10, you can at least watch the first just to get an idea. And like, hey, if you like the first season, you're like, hey, I really like this. I want to see where Clark is going to go in season 2 with him and Lana and all these other characters.
Let's see. I might be able to get to at least 5 before it burns out. Maybe.
There you go.
Didn't hear promises here, chat, but.
All right. Well, we'll cross our fingers for you. Yeah, the first season is really good. It's a great introduction to the characters. Basically, it's about the theme of the first season is who am I? And then the theme of the second season is where do I come from?
Oh, okay. That's actually pretty cool, actually. I do like that idea.
Yeah. That was the theme of the first early seasons of the series.
I think you
who am I? Where do I come from? Where does my future lie in season 3? Where is my future going to take me in season 3 a little bit?
Yeah, that kind of hooks me in. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay, well then there you go. We did it, folks. We made a sale. We sold it and we got it. So, are you buying what we're selling? Yes, she is. So, in the words of Howie Mandel, deal or no deal? She says, deal, Howie. That was my favorite game show. I don't know if you knew that.
Most likely will. How about that?
Nice, awesome sauce, great, wonderful, fantastic. Fantastic, as one might say. You're pretty soon, Sakura. I can say the magic words. You've taken your first step into a larger world. See what I did there? There it is. We bring it all back. So, for someone who's aspiring to be a cosplayer, what advice would you give to those individuals?
Oh, every single time I talk to all my friends, I'm like, just go to a convention. This is the best thing I love telling people is just go. Have a good time at a convention. The first ones, they're like, well, I don't have a cosplay. I don't know how to cosplay. You don't have to cosplay your first conventions in. If you've already been to conventions, if you have a character, start off with a character that you really like, really like, and base it off of that. It's a-okay to do closet cosplays, which are just basically normal outfits put into a character. I do a lot of them actually. A lot of my Pokemon ones that I do are a lot of closet cosplays. And basically, like, getting a group of friends is always good fun, but not always plausible sometimes. But just start off small. Find a favorite character. Look up designs on Pinterest, online, stuff like that. Everything doesn't have to be exactly to the character's image or their character. It is a fictional character, but just have fun. Do someone, like, obviously cosplay someone you really love. That's like how you get the passion in there. If you have friends to go with, group ones are so much fun. Definitely talk to people in cosplay. It can be a little bit anxiety based, but if there's any like photo like or cosplay meetups, definitely go if you're in that character base. It helps you meet other people and they can give you tips, or if you ask how do you do this, they'll very much tell you. A lot of the cosplay community, majority of it, not all of it, not everyone of course, but majority of them, they're very welcoming and they're very like, oh yeah, like this is how I did that, this is where I found this, because we love just sharing our art with everyone. So yeah, those would be like the first few pointers. There is find a favorite character. It's okay to whatever cosplay design you want to go as. It's fine. You don't have to look exactly like the character. Doesn't matter your skin tone, your gender, your weight. None of that really matters. It's if you're having fun and you like how you look. That's the point of cosplay.
Right on, right on, right on. Good. All right, all right, all right. Good pointers. Good pointers. What is a celebrity or some other voice actors you're looking forward to meeting somewhere down the line that you haven't met as of yet?
Ooh, so the VA, I mean, me and my best friend, who I call my cosplay duel, she's always the one, like, if you do see my socials, she will always be someone that is the opposite of my character. So like Starfire or Raven was our first cosplays we did together. Like we just did Wally and Eve. We did Bowsette, like you can kind of get the gist there. She's a big Sailor Moon fan, so we're trying to find all of the VAs for Sailor Moon to meet them, and usually they have different characters, and they always just align with someone at least that I like, because I like Sailor Moon as well. But definitely the VA for Gon from Hunter x Hunter. That's gonna be like that's my number one person to meet. Would love to meet the K-pop Demon Hunters, like VAs, because like I said, I'm obsessed with them right now. Would love to meet Robbie Daymore, one of the only like names I can actually throw out there. He voices Fujigori from JJK. He's also in the Critical Role series. I just love him. He's great. I think who else? Matthew Mercer, big fan. And I think that's about everyone that can pop into my brain right now.
No, it's all good. It's all good. And any other characters you're hoping to cosplay somewhere down the line that you haven't cosplayed as of yet?
There's so many. There's a list. It's like a Christmas, like a Santa,
like a Christmas list.
It's so long.
Is it?
So many. Yeah. So this year lined up already. I have. So we usually do a Pokemon, a Jijinka, which is a human form of a Pokemon. Big Pokemon fan. I've been a Pokemon fan since I was basically born. So that's why, like, I have my little Pikachu headset. We usually do a Pokemon cosplay in every single convention usually we go to. So we'll be doing a Pyre Evolution group. We are doing I'm doing Hinata from Naruto. and then a bunch of K-pop demon hunters. So I'm doing Zoe for the majority. This is going to be our next big con, which is Colossal Con East, and um, then I'm doing Psych-Lock as well from Marvel Rivals, that version of it. So yeah,
Oh
that's on
my
the
goodness.
list from here. Yeah.
Wow. Okay, that one. Yeah, that one. I mean, we're interested to see how all these cosplays come about and how they turn out for you. But you mentioned, and you said Psylocke, right, from
Yeah.
Marvel. Okay, that one. She doesn't get a whole lot of love in the movies, much less the
Doesn't.
TV series. So let's get Psylocke into the mix, because the way she was presented in X-Men, I want to say it was X-Men Apocalypse. She was fine, but she didn't really do much.
She's such a good character. She just needs to shine more.
She didn't really do much in that X-Men movie. I don't know if you saw X-Men
Right.
Apocalypse with Olivia Munn playing her at that time.
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking to myself, what is going on here? So, I mean, Psylocke deserves a little bit more credit than that. But anyway, that's just, hey, it's neither here nor there. I'm just throwing it out there as a free.
She was kind of Deadpool, but like, was she really?
I don't know. There was a Superpower Beatdown. I don't know if you ever heard of that YouTube channel, Superpower Beatdown, where they take fictional characters and they battle them against each other. Did you ever see that?
Oh no.
So they have taken numerous Marvel and DC characters and had them fight,
Yeah.
like duke it out. One of them included Wolverine versus Wonder Woman.
Oh, okay.
There is a superpower. I kid you not. I will send the link to you on outside of the studio. But that is my favorite superpower beatdown that they've put out from that studio, respectively. Is Wonder Woman versus Wolverine, and Wolverine is in the X Mansion, hanging out with the X-Men before he gets the call that, hey, we got a call. Something's going on out here in this place called Themyscira. We got to figure out what's going on. And Cyclops flies him out there with the Blackbird. And him and Cyclops are having the usual, hey, I don't like you so much. I don't like you either kind of jibber jabber.
Yeah.
It's really good. It's really well put together. And I'll definitely say there's also an alternate ending to that video too. I'll send you both. Watch the original cut. And then if you want to watch the alternate ending, you can watch the alternate ending later. But Superpower Beatdown has had the White Ranger versus Scorpion. They've had Thor versus Superman. They've had Batman versus Darth Vader.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and speaking of Spidey, they've had Darth Maul versus Spider-Man.
I want to see all of these. I'm just gonna.
Well, I'm going to do you a solid, and I'll just send you a bunch of links. If not, send you to the playlist of Superpower Beatdown from Bat in the Sun Studios.
I would love that, actually.
Bat in the Sun Studios is the name of the people that put it together. But they call it Superpower Beatdown. And then before each beatdown, they go to Comic-Cons and they interview attendees saying, okay, who's going to win this fight, Psylocke or Cyclops? Who's going to win? And then they ask the fans, who do you think is going to win the fight?
Do they ask why too?
Yeah, they say, well, why do you think he's going to win? Why do you think Darth Vader is going to choke the life out of Batman? And then they go into their reasoning. And I'm like, see, this is why this is the sort of stuff I wish I would get interviewed with at conventions, because these are great questions. Like, well, what if Spider-Man went up against Darth Vader? What if Spider-Man went up against, I don't know, someone from, the Dragon Zord or something? You know what I mean? Like, just all these different properties crossing over with each other. Like, what if Sailor Moon went up against the Green Ranger from Power Rangers? What would happen there? I don't know.
Right. Oh god, that'd be so cool. Like, that is something like I'm so excited actually to see this.
I'll send you the playlist so you can go back and watch the footage. I mean, they had, by the way, speaking of Marvel and DC, there was a team up version where they had Joker and Harley Quinn versus Deadpool and Domino.
Okay.
Which was weird and wild and crazy, because as we all know, the Joker and Harley Quinn are cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah, kind of want to see that, actually.
It's very, very crazy, but I'll send you the link anyway so you can watch it and make your own judgment calls. But my favorites were Wonder Woman versus Wolverine, because that's just badass. And then obviously I'm a big Power Rangers fan. So White Ranger versus Scorpion from Mortal Kombat.
I love Mortal Kombat.
New properties that you and I grew up on that is awesome.
Oh, absolutely.
Just throwing it out there. But yeah, we will send you the link. And for anyone else who's curious, let us know. Just throwing it out there. Fabulous stuff, what I was saying earlier. But yeah, great. Congratulations on your cosplay. Congratulations on your mental health advocacy. And you're trying to intertwine the two, which I'm assuming is going to be your next, as they say in the guidance counselor's office, what's your 5 or 10 year plan with all this cosplaying and mental health intertwine stuff? Is that what you're hoping to do, is do more panels, outreach programs, maybe workshops, that kind of thing?
Absolutely. So there are a few places that I already know, or organizations, groups that already do that, which is amazing, and they are solely an inspiration, and I love them, and I hope to collaborate with them, be a part of that. So another thing is besides cosplay is gaming. We're adding that too, or I'm adding the two of them together, and I'm hoping that with gaming, streaming, cosplaying, all of that can all be integrated together, as well as like talking about mental health, being another platform to be like, hey, it's okay. Let's talk about it. It's okay to have it be a voice of advocacy, be a voice of just brightness and inspiration for those people that might not have it right now. Be a voice, be just be there and just talk about it because it's okay to talk about it. Like we're at a great place where we're talking about it more. So doing panels and being a part of groups and just being with people, giving that inspiration, giving that encouragement, that's where I'm gonna be going.
Well, that is just fabulous, and the force is strong with this one, ladies and gentlemen. Let me assure you, as a Star Wars fan, I can say that as a bit of a quick bonus follow-up here. Favorite Star Wars movie?
So obviously the first three are great. I think I'm a little biased because I am a big Padme fan. So it has to be. Yeah, I know. One of the top of the beginning three, even though like the acting isn't the greatest. I don't have a set movie, honestly.
You don't.
I
So you
don't
just like the
have a
prequel trilogy. So you just like the prequels as a whole.
I do. I like them. It's still cheesy.
Yeah, the dialogue is
very cheesy. But I like I said, I'm a big Padme fan. Like I love what she stands for. So like I'm just biased, honestly. That's the only reason. Seeing the newer ones, more familiar with my memory, at least with my memory of the newer ones than I have with the originals and the prequels. I haven't seen them in a long time. But yeah.
So you can't decide if you like Force Awakens, Last Jedi, or Rise of Skywalker.
Well, it's a hard with those because those are different. I don't know. It's a different branch of Star Wars, in my opinion.
Yeah,
they're so different.
Times are different, right?
I have a lot of I'm very indifferent with a lot of things. I don't have a lot of favorites in a lot of different things.
All right. No, it's okay. It's okay. I just thought I'd ask.
No, it's okay. Like common question, like favorite cosplay, and I'm like, I don't have one.
You just like them all.
I do like them all.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, we were going over this in the green room earlier, fans. And for those of you just joining us, this is I quote with Sakura Cosplay. Don't forget to like and share. If you have any questions, let us know in the comments. And don't forget to like, if you're watching us live or on the replay, excuse me, thank you and hello there. But yeah, my favorites of the new era of Star Wars is Force Awakens is my favorite, and then right behind that is Rogue One. They're both great films. I know some people don't like Force Awakens, and that's okay. That's fine. But I loved it. It's enjoyable. It was a great theatrical experience when we were 10 years younger. I can't believe I just said that. 2015. I know, Sakura. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in. I know. But Force Awakens was a great theatrical experience. I enjoyed the living heck out of it. And I still do to this day. I'm not going to lie to you. And Rogue One, to me, no disrespect to the prequelists out there in the world, but that to me is the best prequel we ever got. Is Rogue One. Nothing, because the prequel trilogy, in the words of our good friend Randy Jackson, it's a no for me, dog. It's a no for me. Doesn't work.
So valid,
there are elements of there. I mean, listen, of the three, I like Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace is the one I can go back and watch. You know why? A couple of reasons. One, Qui-Gon Jinn is an underrated character. Two, you get a relationship between a master and apprentice that's explored pretty well between Qui-Gon and Obi-Wan, I think, in the movies, right? That's pretty well explored. And three, most importantly, you get the lightsaber duel with Duel of the Fates by John Williams playing at the end of the movie between Darth Maul versus Qui-Gon Jinn and Obi-Wan Kenobi. A 2-on-1 handicap match that we have never seen. We've never seen that in the history of Star Wars. That is why, in my professional opinion, that The Phantom Menace is my favorite of the three prequel trilogy films, even though the bar is not very high on those movies. But still, I can deal with it. People say, oh, well, Anakin's annoying. Oh, Watto was terrible. I'm like, listen, and what's his name? Jar Jar Binks is the most annoying character in the history of Star Wars. Listen, I can ignore that and still enjoy the movie.
Yeah. No, exactly.
Still enjoy. I can enjoy the lightsaber duels. I can enjoy what is it? What's the scene that everyone brings up, Sakura? The pod race. The pod race.
Oh yeah.
People bring up the pod race every single time I mention the prequels. Like, what's one of your favorite things about the prequels? It's like, dude, the pod race. Oh my god. I'm like, okay, pod race is good. I mean, I think that I think that the subculture that should be explored more.
Oh yeah, no, that'd be so cool.
in the movies or like in the animated series, maybe Sakura. I mean, I
Yeah.
think because what was it the Qui-Gon said? They have pod racing on Malastare, very fast, very dangerous. I'm like,
We
well,
didn't see
let's
more of
see it.
that.
Let's
Yeah,
see it.
actually, that
I
would
want,
be really cool.
I want to see it. Sakura wants to see it.
I want to see it.
I want to see pod
I know.
racing.
That would be a good next way to go. There's so many ways that Lucasfilm can go with this. Honestly, there's so much of the universe, which is
And
great.
that's the thing that pains me and you, myself, and everyone else in the community of Star Wars. There's so many things that you could do, but you're not using these resources that are available to you, Lucasfilm. You're making all these other bad calls and trying to make everything what do you call it, intertwine with the original trilogy. We don't need that. Give us,
Like, leave them alone.
yeah, in the words of that YouTube video from 50 years ago, leave that portion alone. Yeah,
Like,
if
they're
you know what I
perfect
mean.
the way they are. Leave them alone. Let's do
Well,
something
yeah.
new.
Well, yeah, exactly. I want new characters, new stories. How about new planets, right?
There's
Sakura, let's
so
get some new
much,
planets explored.
so much to go over. Why do we need to keep focusing back on the original? Leave them alone. They're perfect. Just stop touching them.
I know. And adapt stuff from the books.
Yeah.
There's so many
I don't read the
books.
books, but yes.
Well, we're gonna be sending Sakura a list here pretty soon, but
Yeah.
there's some Master and Apprentice is the first one, I would say. Lost Stars is another great standalone book. The books I'm about to name right now are standalones. Dark Disciple is a really good book. That was a storyline that was originally supposed to be adapted into Star Wars: The Clone Wars, but they couldn't get to it at the time, so they instead put it as an adaptation into a book.
Okay.
The storyline was going to be in the show, but they couldn't make room for it in the show, so they made it into a book. And guess what? It's one of the best. A lot of people have said this to me over the years. It is one of the best standalone Star Wars novels that's ever been put out.
Okay.
And I've read
I'm
it.
intrigued.
And it's written by Christy Golden, I want to say. Christy Golden is the young author's name. So feel free to look it up. And the cover, by the way, one of the best things about Star Wars, the covers. Oh, the covers of the books. The covers. Just Google Star Wars comic book or book covers, and I'm telling you, granted, our bank accounts aren't big enough for this joint, but it's going to make you want to buy so many different comics and books. You're going to be like, hey, I just bought this because I love the cover. Because the covers are great.
Exactly.
The covers are great. I'm not going to lie to you. The covers are more phenomenal, as the 1993 TV series would like to tell us. Sorry, we grew up on Fox Kids. It was a great show. It was a great network. Great lineup of shows, too. Just throwing it out there for you folks who grew up in the 90s. It's great. I wish we can go back to the 90s. There were some good times back then. There were simpler times, too.
They were.
I mean,
I was really born in the 90s, so.
I know, I'm dating. There's a bit of an age. I know there's a bit of an age difference between my guest here this week and myself, but I'm just saying there were some good times in the 90s as a whole, and then things that came out after that in the 2000s. We had some good runs.
There was a lot of good runs. I mostly grew up in the 2000s, but I was born in the 90s.
Thanks for making me feel 10 times older than I already am. Thank you. But it's cool.
I guess?
It's okay. We're only as old as we feel.
Exactly.
Yeah. I was born at if it makes you feel any better, I was born at the tail end of the 80s, so I'm very old. Yeah, that's why you and I have there's a bit of an age, just a little bit of an age gap, but it's okay. It's not the first time this has happened on the program, and it won't be the last. So I do want to take this opportunity to say thank you to Sakura Cosplay for being our guest on this week's episode of And I Quote. Sakura, it was great to have you here. It was great to see you. Great to catch up with you again after all this time. And congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
And we wish you the best. We wish you the best with everything moving forward with your what am I trying to say? Your plans of intertwining both cosplay and mental health advocacy and how important that is for society. That is great stuff. But if someone wants to know more about you and keep up to date with all the wonderful things you are doing to make cosplay and mental health intertwine, where can they follow you?
They can follow me on Sakurahisuii Cosplay, which is a little handle like right down here. On Instagram is the best way there. There is a link then on my Instagram for my link tree that has a bunch of other things that you can follow me on.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for being here, Sakura. Stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Feel free to grab some coffee and whatever else we have in that non-existent green room backstage area behind us. Oh, wait, no, those are books. But feel free. We're going to talk to you here again momentarily. My name is Ryan Avana, co-channel. Follow me across all forms of social media. Simply at, where am I pointing to? There it is. at And I Quote channel. That's where you can catch up on up to date on all our programming, all the things we have planned for the near future. Links to where you can follow Sakura Cosplay are in fact located in the description of this video, so make sure you check that out. We're on the road to 5,000, and once we do, we'll have a live stream celebration that will include special giveaways that you, the person who's watching or listening to this presentation right now, are going to be eligible to win. Also, we got merch. We got hoodies. We got t-shirts. We got stickers you can add to your water bottles. We may, in fact, have water bottles and coffee mugs you bring with you to Comic-Cons. Everyone needs survival kits from that Comic-Con, Sakura. It happens to everybody. But we have all great items that are on sale right now in our Redbubble store. So check out the links in our social media bio. It's also in my link tree, which is located down below in the description of this video. And to give you a great piece of news, my short story, Wolf of the West, has officially been published in this Western. It's a Western in this Western theme anthology called Western Tales Volume 1, presented by Veritas Entertainment. It is available on Amazon right now in ebook, paperback, and hardcover form. Me, along with 15 other writers, are involved in this. So many great stories, so many great writers. I am honored and privileged to be a part of this team and to be a part of this community. So check out Western Tales Volume 1 from Veritas Entertainment on Amazon.com today in multiple formats, however you wish to read your books or read your stories, as it were. Well, once again, thank you for joining us for this episode of And I Quote. We're on Saturdays, 12 p.m. Eastern Time, and the movie anniversary watch-alongs are on Friday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell to be notified when our videos go up or they go live. Remember, life is better when supporting indie creators from all over the world. Take a look.
Author Cindy Kep is writing on the edge. Books include Remnant in the Stars, The Loudest Actions, Lines of Succession, Mindstorm, Condemned Courier, the Yerushalayim series, and Animal Eye. Find author Cindy Kep at CKOEPP.com today.
Hey everyone, Bonnie Gordon from Star Trek Prodigy here. Make sure to tune into And I Quote podcast on YouTube. Like, share, and subscribe.
Good morning! Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.